What is up? What is up? This is Unsought Opinions with Stevie B and Benny
the Jet Rodrigo.
I was hoping that like Benny B, but you're not B, you're W. It doesn't.
My friends back in the day used to call me Ben Bad Boy Bear Bear, and that's a fact. A real fact.
Oh, that makes sense. You rolled that off too smoothly. It had to not be true.
Yep.
We are without Dano and Lucas this evening, so we're going to try and roll it with two people. We might get 10 minutes in, and it's just a lot of awkward pauses and silence.
That was the perfect time to just stop talking.
A lot of awkward. All right. We could not recruit any special guests,
quote unquote friends, to come and pod with us tonight.
So all of our unsauties who are actually just the three friends that we have in this world, thank you for not showing up. We really appreciate that. So,
well, you know, one good thing is we might get more listens this time because the people who aren't here might actually listen. So we might go from like 2 views to 5 views.
Do you think that they would listen though?
No, because...
Did you listen the week that you weren't here?
I listened to a part of it.
Oh, right.
And I loved it.
We didn't post it though.
Right, and I thought it was great.
Yeah.
Well, really sad.
Yeah, we're having a lot of issues with our Zooms. I know you guys have been messaging us nonstop about why we've missed like 2 weeks.
And we apologize for not getting back to you on those messages. That
there's just been so many.
We get overwhelmed. We're all very busy. Being a professional podcaster is tough.
It is tough. I don't even know how you guys got our email address because we haven't posted it yet.
I doxed us all. Obviously.
Yeah.
That's my one goal in life, is to get us out there in the public eye. There's the first awkward.
I was going somewhere and then I got distracted. This is like the 8th time today that I've just done that and completely lost my train of thought.
Have you gotten checked out?
By the docs?
Yeah, dude.
No, dude, I need to.
Docked up.
I got, ZocDoc. I don't even know what that is. I've just heard this. Is that?
I've never heard that before.
Oh, maybe. I think it's like an online doctor that you can do or something.
Right.
Maybe. Friend of the pod.
Friend of the pod, yeah. Dude,
yeah,
it's crazy how many people love the pod that I've talked to out just in the wild who recognize me.
Just calling you out in the middle of the grocery store.
Yeah, dude.
We can't even live like real people anymore.
Yeah, and it's not like they're really talking to me, I should say. It's more like we just like see each other and I just know. It's like I just understand that thing.
I was listening to a podcast one time and the guy said that he was just in the store and he saw a little kid with headphones on and he heard his theme music in the headphones and he said, "Oh, you like that podcast you're listening to?" And apparently
it was not his podcast.
No, dude, I don't even know if it was.
He stole his intro music like we used to from the internet.
It was just a Justin Bieber song. I don't know what happened there. But yeah, it was it was like a cringy, like, yeah, dude, I got
what's up with that?
So many fans.
So many. So what's new, dude? What's going on?
Dude, yeah, it's
been a few weeks since I've talked to you on the mics.
I reminded myself, actually, kind of you did, about where I was going on my mind trail there. But we have missed a bunch of weeks because we've all had things going on. You
huge things.
Have had something big going on. If you want to enlighten that, or you want to keep it on the DL.
Yeah, I've had to go like back and forth to like take care of my dogs now because I don't live where I used to live. So it's a roundabout say. It's a pretty big time commitment for me.
So you moved? Is that what you're saying?
Oh yes, I did move. Yeah. I bought a house and it is not going well.
It's going well.
Well, I mean, if you don't have to live there or potentially have to live there.
Okay, so everyone listening, the thing you got to realize about Ben is he, one, thinks everything that he owns is garbage, even though it's incredible. Two, he gets
That's not true. My SUV is amazing.
Dude, you get... Okay. It's the one thing that's not good.
Hey, dude, that's rude.
He gets unbelievable deals everywhere he goes. He bought his first house at like half price somehow just because of the things that fall in his lap. And 3...
It's amazing what a solid threat will do.
Yeah, it's true. And 3, he buys houses and is able to renovate them through the work of his brow. And so he purchased this house that is
rough.
Most would not say it's the best, but it is extremely livable. Probably has a little bit of a cigarette smoke to it. Is that what you're saying?
It did. It absolutely had a horrible cigarette smell.
But
and
that
it had some cat damage.
Ben-
I'll leave it at that. Okay, I'll elaborate.
You pulled my arm.
Yeah. There was what I think, I've just dubbed it the cat room, because I think what happened was the homeowner before us was not taking care of his cat and just locked it in a room. And I think it was a male cat just based on how high up the wall the pee spray mark was. And it got so saturated on the wall that it dripped down through the subfloor into the basement. Yeah. Let that sink in. Let that,
Just
soak up.
Seep in your imagination.
Seep into your imagination.
Dude, yeah, so that
had to all get ripped out and replaced.
When I first came, that was already all ripped out and stuff, because it wasn't that bad of a smell when I came in, right?
Dude, I think you just came when I had all the windows open, really. And maybe, yeah.
There was drywall missing.
Oh, okay. Well,
so
then,
it was a legit, you had to rip out all the drywall. I mean, not all the drywall, but like the first 4 feet of drywall.
Yeah, I ripped out the bottom sheet of sheetrock on 4 walls, or I guess 5 walls, and cut studs and put new studs in after I replaced the subfloor. I mean, it was so bad, but it changed the way that place felt immediately. And then when I went through and mitigated all the cigarette smoke with very, very heavy coats of like oil-based primer. I can still smell the oil-based primer.
A lot of lead-based paint in there.
Oh, yeah,
you just had to really cover that joker up.
You know what really works to get cigarette smell out of houses? Just rubbing it down with asbestos. It's just
chalk up your hands with asbestos.
Yep.
I don't even know what form asbestos takes. I know it's in shingles. It's like a powder, but I don't.
Is it the same as whatever that white powder is? Anthrax?
It's not.
It's not the same as that.
No.
So you can't snort it like cocaine.
You can snort it like cocaine, but it could give you cancer. It's not going to immediately kill you. I would say it's like talcum powder or something of that. So it's like a powder that you can use to build like. We're sounding so stupid, and someone that actually knows what asbestos does.
Nobody.
These guys are idiots.
Nobody knows what that is.
But like they use it as a building supply, or like back in the day, they would use it to build building supplies because it was
back when they would
like
build things right.
The good old days.
Yeah, the good old days. Now we got this like 5th cut 2x4 lumber.
Yeah,
it's like falling apart after like 5 years.
It's not actually a 2x4. It's a 1 7/8 by 4.
Yeah, it's
come on, guys.
Pathetic Nelson.
Thanks, Lowe's.
Actually, it's more like 1.5 by 3.5.
Is it really? I thought it was 7/8.
It's like pretty bad, yeah.
Okay, maybe 5/8. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. But anyway,
we'll agree to disagree.
Yeah, and then you've got big things going on, right?
Well, no, not really.
Nice. Nice. All right. Well, back to you in the studio.
Past few weeks, it was a one-man band, and I just couldn't get the show going on. No, but Luke is in the middle of a job change, and he's going through textbooks of studying. So he's just
hammering it.
He has to work tomorrow at 5 o'clock in the morning just because he's just grinding.
Just training.
Training to get, a career change at 27 or something. How old is he? 28?
I don't know. He's young.
Yeah. Young enough to do a career change. And then same thing with Dan is I think he passed his financial advisor test.
He passed the bar, right?
Yeah, the bar. He's a lawyer now.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's exciting for him. Another career change. I am still waiting on my profession to get the ball rolling as far as like my final test for private pilot license. And so like getting a DPE or a designated pilot examiner is super hard because everyone's trying to get their private license.
Gotcha.
So there's just none of them. And then
even the guy that's been training with you, he can't.
He's not a DPE.
Oh, okay.
He's just an instructor. Yeah.
He just has to get hours.
And so, I think the ball might have been dropped a little bit on his part as far as like reaching out to examiners prior to.
Dude, he listens to the pod. He's
me
gonna be really
finishing.
upset that you're just like smashing him.
It could be me. I don't know the industry very well, but it might be. I don't know. So, and the plane has been in the shop for the last like couple weeks. So since like Christmas.
That's not exactly.
No, so that one is like a legit.
Is it an annual?
Every 100 hours if it's a commercial. So it had its annual and its 100 hours simultaneously. So I haven't been able to. I've flown like 3 times since Christmas, which is just brutal.
There's a podcast, and I was going to ask you if you had heard of it, but I can't remember what it was called. I'm looking it up on my phone right now. It's like, the Part-Time Pilot.
No, I've never heard of it.
It's like audio version of like pilot school.
Okay. There's a few of them. There's VSL podcast is a really good one as far as like he is a DPE, like the examiner guy,
Okay.
and just goes over like this is what you need to know for your exam and stuff like that. So it's pretty interesting. Anyone who's not a pilot trying to get their pilot license would not enjoy the podcast, but if
that's what you're trying to do,
yeah,
it's probably a nice resource.
It's a really good resource. Yeah.
Well,
Friend of the pod.
Friend of the pod. I mean, we go way back.
Yeah.
To the
at least 3 weeks ago when I found the pod.
first
So.
Yeah. Hey, you know, as far as the internet goes, that's like an eternity.
Sure.
3 weeks.
Yeah. It was the last time we had a podcast. And so I think I remember what a plane is, but I don't know that I could.
Right. Well, all you have to do is follow the tracks until you find it, like the railroad tracks or whatever.
Yeah.
Because that's where I don't think they can get off those tracks.
Now, I think you're thinking of a mine cart. Mine cart?
Like from Donkey Kong?
Yeah.
Is that a real thing?
Dude, that's what they used to dig mines out with.
Wait, what's
you would put all like
a mine, like people digging holes into the ground, like mole people? You're going to try to convince me that's real too?
A coal mine or a gold mine, and they had to put all the gold in something. They didn't want to just carry it out in tarps.
Smart, yeah. Let the gold get out of your sight.
Build railroad tracks and do a little.
Yeah, there's no way I'm letting gold get out of my sight with all those like monkeys all around, those gorillas trying to get those banana clusters. Forget that.
When you say gorillas, you mean actual gorillas.
I mean Donkey Kong, dude. You seen that dude?
Thank
He's
the
always
Lord.
dude. He's getting like monster clusters of bananas.
I've never seen bigger banana clusters than what
Yeah.
Donkey Kong. And I
Imagine
lived
his
in
tastes change.
Costa Rica for a year. Yeah, I've seen some big
dude,
ones.
tell me about that spider you were telling me about on your foot.
Dude, that was crazy. So I was walking to the school one day that I was teaching at, and I was in flip-flops because it's Costa Rica and that's what you do.
Right.
And I feel like a pain, and I look down and there's a spider that like bit the end of my toe. Like it bit it. I don't know in my life when I've just looked down and felt a spider just like take a chomp out of you. And it wasn't like
I would have jumped so high. I'm so scared of spiders.
dude, it was such an isolated feeling because like I'm all by myself in this rural Costa Rican town on a gravel road like a mile from my house. Just there's no one around anywhere.
Right.
And it's not like a big tarantula or anything. It's just like a small, like probably black widow size spider, I'd say.
Right.
It wasn't a black widow, but it was like that size. And so I don't know any of the what is it?
Fauna is, I think, deer and those types of things.
Fauna is wildlife.
Is that really right? It's
Fauna
not
and flora.
specific?
Yeah, is the wildlife, the animals and the plants. So I don't know any of the fauna of Costa Rica. Like I know everything wants to kill you, but I don't know what specifically that spider was.
Right.
And so it was like such a, like I said, isolated feeling of like I may very well die right now. I don't have any idea. I have Costa Rican friends who were bit by the fer-de-lance, which is like the poisonous snake there. And this dude was telling me the story. He's like crawling on his hands and knees and then found a cab that was in the town and like opened the door and like was just like, just get to the hospital kind of thing. So it was like, it wasn't like, it was a very, like death was very localized in that area of like, there's crocodiles that people see like cruising up and down the coast all the time and stuff. Like it was no joke.
Death was your next door neighbor.
It was my next door neighbor.
Living in town with death.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
It was pretty, well, I say it, and then in reality, anyone from Costa Rica and stuff is like, dude, you got bit by a spider. It's like,
yeah, right.
I was completely fine. It wasn't poisonous. It was just like, like a bug bite, but it was scary for a minute.
Do you have any other stories of crazy creatures? Like, did you ever see any of those crazy snakes just falling out of trees on people? Is that a thing that happens in Costa Rica?
So there was a time, I will start by saying no, I didn't. So none of these stories are good. If you're expecting a snakes, it's not going to be exciting or anything. But I did go with a bunch of these Ticos, which is Costa Rican.
Super.
No, that's what yeah.
I was like, whoa.
And they wanted to go night fishing with me. And they were like, not in the ocean, but up this like in the river. But it was like high up in the mountains of the river and stuff. And so they literally had snorkels on, a flashlight, and then like a fishing rod with a rubber band and a fork taped to the end of it to make like a spear. You know what I'm saying? Like you hold the rubber band and then you... And so I was the guy on the shore with the backpack, and they would just chuck these fish and shrimp and things at me that they caught. And I just had to get these things. I was getting pelted by shrimp and stuff.
They were probably so mad,
dude. They were
when you were dropping everything they threw at you back
I
into
think
the
it was
water.
like a let's get the white kid, like as a joke kind of
Yeah.
thing. But I just had this like JanSport backpack that I had to catch their fish and throw it in the backpack or whatever.
Right.
But the
Sponsor.
the one guy I was like a buddy with, he was like, you need to watch where you're stepping because this is all like they call it the terciopelo, but it's the fertile ants. They're nocturnal and they're super aggressive and they live at the edge of rivers. So as you're walking along the river with us, just make sure you watch where you're stepping. And it's like pitch black, and I have like one little like pen light, and I was pretty terrified at that point.
What's hilarious about that is like you think that it's like they're hazing you, right? Throwing fish and stuff at you.
Yeah.
But they are actually trying to kill you. Right. Like they wanted you dead.
This went far beyond hazing. Yeah, so that was pretty crazy. Another time I was like off on my own with my motorcycle, and I went down to like the river bottoms and stuff. And I'm just like hanging out, like drawing, or I don't know. I got really into drawing and being all transcendental when I was down there, and
right.
like, you wouldn't understand. You spend too much time alone, and then you start to get weird. And so I'm just like down there, and it dawns on me like this is 100% like it's to the point. It's like twilight, so you can't see very well, but like this is when crocodiles are most active, and I'm where freshwater river meets the ocean, and I'm like down on the river bottom, so that it's like kind of dried out area. And so I was like,
dude, what are you doing?
Dude, it was like I shouldn't be here right now. It's kind of sketchy. I didn't see any crocodiles or terciopelos or anything, so it was fine. But when you're in the moment, it's pretty like, okay, life is real, death is real, kind of thing. Like,
did anybody get crocked while you were there?
No. There was the Crocs where we were at. It's like a surf town. There's like one crocodile that they had reported was being seen up and down and stuff, and so everyone stayed clear of it.
And these are real deal crocs. They're not gators.
No, they're real deal. There's
like
big
saltwater crocs.
Yeah, there's one bridge that you could go to at any point. Everyone in Costa Rica pretty much knows the bridge, and people just throw meat and stuff off of it all the time. Any time of the day, we stopped by 2 or 3 times, and you look over the edge of it, and there's like 40 crocs just laying on each other, just like waiting for food and stuff. Like,
dude, just waiting to munch,
just waiting to kill. Yeah, that's
dude.
Yeah,
that's wild.
Another time we were, my buddy and I were
riding your motorcycle together up a hill.
No, that's another time. Yeah, we're not gonna get into that. We're talking wildlife right now. But we were walking up the mountain road, right? So there's no one around. There's no houses. There's no nothing. It's just like jungle for as far as you can see. And we round the bend of this mountain and see. Have you seen Up, the movie?
Yeah, I love that movie.
Okay, so
my favorite movie.
The bird thing in Up, it looked just like that, but it was jet black, and we round the corner and see this thing just take off into the woods. We look at each other like, what the heck was that thing? Like, did we just discover a new bird, like a new species? Like, we were like blown away. No idea what it is. So like, we just like creep as quietly as we can to where this thing was. Because this is like Jurassic Park Central and all this stuff. And it's just probably this 4 or 5 foot tall, big black bird with a bright red beak. And we just don't have any idea, no file for it or anything. I've never seen a bird like it. And so it darts off into the jungle. And so we, without even thinking, just sprint off after it. And we hear it like shh, 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 like kind of like you're chasing a deer.
It's like it's a legit snipe.
It's a snipe, yeah. Legit, straight up. So we're stupidly, once again, we're stupid American tourists, sprinting through the jungle of Costa Rica. Like, there could be snakes under the vines and everything. We can't see what. It was just like...
Oh my goodness, dude.
Just chasing pure instinct and adrenaline, trying to chase this bird to see what it is, to get a better idea of it and everything. We finally give up because it is just gone. And we come back and I'm looking through every book and every website I can find of like I said, the local fauna, trying to figure out what this bird is. And I'm like, dude, I think we may have discovered a freaking bird, dude. This is like crazy. And so months go by, and I don't have an answer of what this bird is. Like, it's just gone. Never seen it again. Never seen anything. Until one day, I'm at a restaurant with my buddy Carlos, who is a local. He looks like a caveman who lives in the jungle. He's got long hair. He's like super jacked. He's a surfer. Just the coolest guy ever. Carlos is a local there. And so there's this big billboard for the restaurant. And on the billboard is like a bunch of different animals and stuff, like a tapir and a anteater and different.
A
like,
what? A tapir?
A tapir. It's like a pig with a elephant trunk.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, a jaguar, like the different big animals that they have. And then
I call that elf.
the daggone snipe was on the board. And I was like, Carlos, what is that? What is that bird right there? Like, what is that? We saw it in the jungle. He's like, that's a turkey. It was a Costa Rican turkey, dude. Everyone had seen it.
They're 5 feet tall.
It was probably like 4 feet, but yeah, like there was like no one cared about him. I'm telling you, dude, this was like.
I thought you were going to tell me it was like a farm. Like you were chasing somebody's farm animal.
Dude, that's really funny. No, but this was like 3 months in the making, trying to figure this bird out. Like asking my students, asking anyone who no one knew. It was just a turkey.
It's just a turkey. Dude, that's so funny.
Those are my good stories about the wildlife in Costa Rica.
One time, Jason and I were in Colorado, and we were driving, just like looking for animals.
Yeah.
And we saw some, what is it, buffalo or bison that we have?
We have bison.
We have bison left. The
Yeah.
buffalo are all gone.
No, it's the same thing.
Oh.
Bison is just the American buffalo.
Okay, well, we have the American buffalo then. We're going to call them that.
We'll call that. Yeah.
No, so we saw some bison. We were like, whoa. So we like turned the car sideways on this back road to shine our lights out on them, and they're just like chilling. They don't even care. We're like, this is so cool. We finally are seeing wildlife. So we get tired of it, and we start rolling around. We see some elk and stuff like that. And I'm like looking it up online to try to see like how many bison are in Colorado. And it's like 0. And the only bison that are there are farm animals.
So like the bison farm down the street from here is like you just.
Yeah, he's like sitting on his front porch, like watching us sit sideways in the road right out front of his house.
Can you believe it?
Like, they were inside of a fence.
But the elk was there as well at
the
in
elk
the same
were all
place?
over the place on that road.
Oh, but they were wild, right?
Oh yeah, I don't think they cage up their elk out there.
Okay.
At least, maybe. You know, at this point, I can't really say for sure. I question everything now.
Right.
What is actually wild? But anyway, that was pretty funny.
That's crazy. We were in Tahoe, in South Lake Tahoe. That's
I'm more of a suburban guy, but yeah.
But do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
The SUV.
Oh, I got you. Okay, no, I didn't get that.
Yeah, sorry.
So South Lake Tahoe is on the border of California and Nevada.
Okay.
And
I've heard of those things.
all the Californian wildfires and everything have like, they had to evacuate the town for that.
Oh, shoot.
And so when they came back to the town after the fires had been extinguished and everything, there was a real problem because all the bears had moved into the town
Yeah, that's a problem.
and eaten it and stuff. And so
Black bears, or they have brown bears here?
they're brown black bears. They're not
Oh, okay,
grizzlies,
okay.
but they are brown bears.
Yeah.
That'd
be kind of cool to see.
Yeah. So we were like on high alert the whole time. Like, I want to see a bear because like,
Yeah.
I've seen small black bears in the mountains and stuff, but I've never seen a brown bear. And at this point, I'm like, there's a grizzly bear on the flag. They've got to have grizzlies in California.
Yeah.
They don't, but I didn't know that.
Historically, they do, but they don't now.
Yeah. And so we're just driving down the strip of South Lake Tahoe, which is kind of like Warrenton. It's the strip. And
It wishes.
Amanda's grandfather sitting next to me. He just very casually says like, "Oh, bear." He said it just like that, and I was like, thinking he was joking, and I was like,
bear.
"Wait, are you serious?" And so we like, he's like, "Yeah, it was back there." And so I whip around. I have a big like suburban full of my whole family, her grandparents,
so
and everything.
now that we're
There's
talking about
it might have
SUVs.
been a Tahoe actually. Now that you say that,
That makes way more sense, actually, given your
would
location.
have been incredible. I wonder if it was a Tahoe. That's ironic that I never even.
Well,
It couldn't have been it.
it's my Anyway, go ahead.
I think it was a Traverse. To be truthful, it was a Traverse.
Okay.
We missed the boat on that.
Neither of the high-end SUVs, just to be clear.
So anyway, we whip around, and he shows me the general area of where this black bear is supposed to be, and it's like in between two like stores, right? And there's an alleyway down there. So I whip around, and we're driving through this neighborhood. I want to find this bear, and there's like a couple like 4 like blocks, like city block that's just like woods and bamboo and stuff like that. So it's really thick; you can't see through it.
Pandas. They have pandas in bamboo.
I'm sure they do. Yeah.
I guarantee it almost.
So it is 100% true. And so we round the corner, and I'm a little discouraged because I'm like, we're probably not going to see him. He's gone. Giant 500-pound brown black bear walking out of this dude's garage.
What?
Right. I have a video I can show you after this if you want, but like this.
We'll post a link.
Giant bear is just some dude left his garage door open, and this bear is just waltzing out of his garage, just like hanging out. And so I stopped the car. He's literally walking next to my car, and I roll the window down, and her grandfather like freaks out at me, like, "No, don't roll the window. What are you doing?" And so I'm just like losing it because it's
Trying
just
to
like
pet this thing?
no, I just wanted to see it and be like close to it. And there's like people on the house across the street that are all out on their porch watching this bear and stuff. And we're like from me to that bookshelf, 5-10 feet of this 500-pound brown bear that's just walking right next to our car. It was unbelievable.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Just hanging out in some dude's garage.
And so we're leaving he's just looking for food. Yeah, he left the main strip and was like just walking through the suburban neighborhood.
And people are living there.
Yeah. So we're leaving, and this woman is just like walking, like doing exercise or whatever. And so I roll the window down, and I was like, "Hey, ma'am, there's a bear back there. Just be careful." And she's like, "All right, thanks. Like, why are you telling me this? Like, obviously there's a bear there. Like,
there's
not
always
worried
bears.
about it at all." So I look like an idiot tourist and stuff, but
It was Bill's day to feed the bear.
yeah, exactly.
In his garage, right?
In his garage,
okay,
yeah. He left the door open, right? Yeah. So that was pretty exciting. That happened like a year and a half ago. That was my most recent
Dude,
brush
that's
with wildlife.
a sweet bear story.
I
don't have any bear stories like that.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, that was that time I rode a bear.
no, I didn't ride him. I fought him, dude. He was
Revenant style.
He was, yeah, dude. He was after my brook trout in the mountains.
Have you seen bears while brook shouting?
No, but I do think that I had a bear on, like right behind me, because I was standing in the middle of the river, at an unknown river, secret location.
Of course.
Maybe if you're lucky, I'll take you there someday. And so I was standing there tying a new fly on, and it's kind of rainy, kind of like dreary, and all of a sudden, like I just hear this crazy, like going through the woods noise behind me, and I'm like, oh no! So I whip around, and all I see are like, saplings, but like 15 foot tall. I don't know if that's a sapling at that point. Just like smaller trees.
How big is the trunk? Like
no,
wrist
they're
size?
like little things.
Okay.
Yeah, like your wrists are smaller. And they're all like whipping like crazy. And it's like whatever it was just plowing through them, going away. And I'm guessing it was a bear that came to cross the river and then like noticed me when it was like getting ready to cross.
And you just missed it.
And it just got scared and bailed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it definitely didn't hang
Were you
around.
in the park?
Yeah.
Are you sure it wasn't a Sasquatch?
Well, no, I'm not sure of anything. And actually, now that you mention it, based on where it was and based on the map that the Missing 411 put out, I bet it was Sasquatch. However...
I'd say odds are better that it is than it was a bear.
Right, because there's really not that many bears in the park.
This is the dumbest podcast.
I think it's going great. Yeah, so most likely the Sasquatch.
You would think, though, if it was a Sasquatch, he'd be pushing down bigger trees than wrist size.
Or, like, would have come towards me.
No.
Really? Squatch?
Well, if he's nervous.
Has there ever been a sighting of a Squatch where that has gone away from them, like famously in a video? Like where it's like sort of walked away and like looked back over his shoulder? Like picture perfect? It's like I can almost picture
I'm going
but
through
I can't.
all the videos that I know of Bigfoot, and it's not...
Any of them.
I don't have any file on one walking away and then glancing over their shoulder with their arms spread wide.
Dude, but if there were a video like that, it would prove that there were Sasquatch,
That'd be
or at least
nuts.
create a massive controversy. And
That would probably be the second most scrutinized film ever, if that film were to exist. I'd say
I agree. Probably the second most. The first most, obviously, being
the JFK assassination.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we've been over that one.
Right.
Yeah, but if there was this video of a Sasquatch nonchalantly walking away, that would prove that yours was a bear because yours was bouldering through small saplings.
Yeah, and I would call that film like the Scatterman Fiblin film or something.
That was so dumb.
That's what I would call it.
Scatterman Fiblin.
Yeah, because,
because it rhymes with another video.
You know why I would call it that.
We're all at the finish line, right?
But that's the closest I've ever, I think, come to a bear on my brook trouting. I do know. So a friend of mine, we do these occasional, I think it's like once a year, we get a group of guys together and we go up there. And one of my friends, Joe, was fishing probably 100 yards up the river from me. And he comes he kind of quick walks down past me on the bank of the river. He's like, "Hey, bear." And I'm like, "What?" It's like, "There's a bear up there." I'm like, "Okay." And my inclination or my instinct is to just go towards it to see if I can see it. But he said that before he saw it, it was moving away from him. So
it's probably long gone.
Probably long gone.
Dude, the kids were real little, probably 3 and 5. And Amanda and I had taken them up to, I think it was Cedar Run. And
you took a 3-pound and a 5-pound baby to Cedar Run?
It was on the near the Appalachian Trail, just an offshoot area of that. And so there's a creek that runs over water or over boulders and stuff like that. So the kids could play in the water and just have a little bit of fun and stuff. And so they're getting really cold and loving life and everything. And we're leaving afterwards, and we hear these hikers that are hooting and hollering up the trail or whatever, a different branch of the trail and stuff. And so we continue to leave, and they meet us down there, and they're out of breath. And they're like, "We were screaming at you. There was a mother and 2 bear cubs coming straight for you guys. Did you see them?"
Whoa.
Dude. So that could have potentially been pretty dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, really sad because you would just had to run really fast and leave your kids there.
Oh, 100%.
That's why you kind of take kids out.
That's why you take them,
right? Just so you can get away.
Well, each kid would have gotten eaten by the cubs, and my wife would have gotten eaten by the mama.
That's why you brought a 5-pound and a 3-pound, because one would be for the bigger bear, the other one would be for the smaller bear.
Yeah. Have you had a 1/4 pounder? That fills you up. So imagine a 5-pounder.
Yeah, huge,
dude.
That'd be awesome.
You'd be turkey coma.
Turkey coma.
Not gonna be able to eat me.
What is that in turkey that makes you sleep? Allegedly,
creatine.
Yeah, dude. And I got really sleepy.
I just threw that out there. I don't know that's. I don't know what creatine is. I've heard people say it.
Oh, dude, creatine's really good for you.
It's muscle builder, right?
Oh wow, we have a guest. And
Thank you. This is not the water that I asked for.
This is.
I have a
amazing.
to-go cup. A big. Thank
you
so much,
Amanda.
Speaking of feeding wives to bears,
dude, have you seen that video of Obama sipping that water in Flint, Michigan?
No.
After that crazy poisoning of the water there,
where it's on fire and stuff.
Yeah, he was like, "Can I get a glass of water?" Rogan talks about it all the time. It's really funny. All you out there should look that up. It's very funny because he doesn't want to sip it. You can tell he does it like this. He gets his top lip a little.
Why was he doing that as a point of, look, I'll drink the water?
Well, he said it's not a stunt. He literally said that. So I believe him that it wasn't a stunt. So I don't know why he was doing it.
Maybe he's just thirsty.
Hey, maybe.
But so yeah, okay.
He's a good dude.
He very well could be.
He's an American treasure, really. But anyway, babies, bears, Battlestar Galactica.
You beat me to it.
Sorry.
Did you see what my wife got me for Valentine's Day? You can't see it.
No.
No, it's a The Threat Level Midnight movie poster.
No way.
I'm really pumped about it.
Dude, where are you going to put that bad boy up?
Oh, I already put a portrait of my son behind the TV, and then put the Threat Level Midnight in place of him.
The what?
A canvas of my son, like a picture of him. I moved that.
You removed it to
and put the poster up. Yeah,
nice.
That's it.
Canvas of your son.
Yeah, you got to talk into your microphone if you're gonna talk.
Oh, sorry.
It's
Canvas of your son. That's
Yeah,
what
like
you
a picture on a canvas, like stretched.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
The place of
Well-
honor is now Michael Scarns.
I don't know how long we want to keep talking. How long have we been going? 36 minutes? Oh, wow.
we're
It
going
only
well.
feels like
34 tops.
an eternity at this point.
Hey, what is today? Do you know what today is?
Is it May 4th already?
Yeah.
May the 4th be with you already?
And also with you.
No.
It's leap day, bro.
How often does something like that happen?
Dude, I was laughing so hard because I wanted to bring it up, and I like looked up the origins and stuff to it, and we were literally just talking about this like 2 weeks ago over dinner at Luke's birthday party
Yeah.
about how
So it was somebody. Did somebody there seriously not know?
someone didn't know how many days were in a year.
Somebody
And so,
probably
like-
didn't even know how often leap years occur.
Right.
That's so stupid.
Yeah. So I did some research. Are you interested?
Oh, dude, I can't wait to learn.
Okay. How long do you think we've been doing leap years?
Since the 70s.
60s, bro.
No, are you serious?
No, seriously. 40 BC. So Jesus was observing leap years.
Whoa. So
How
how old
sick
really
is
was
that?
he?
Jesus?
Yeah.
He would have been 33.
Yeah, divided by 4.
That's true. No, but okay, I'm going to get a little nerdy on this, but I think it's so fascinating. But the fact that like Julius Caesar, when you did the Julian calendar and stuff,
Okay.
they implemented the leap year because the Earth revolves around the sun 365 days, but it's also a quarter day as well to get back to where
Right.
they were. And so they, even like the ancient Egyptians and stuff, knew that it wasn't 365 equal days because there's that extra as well. So they had some sort of a leap day as well through their leap year, but the one that we observe is every 4 years for the Julian calendar when Julius Caesar did it, which was like 40. He was murdered in 40 BC, so presumably maybe 50 BC is when they made the Julian calendar and stuff. But the length of time it takes us to make a full rotation is actually 365.2422 or something. So it's like it's not even an equal quarter. And so between the time of Caesar and like the 1500s, it got off like we were 10 days off because of that amount of that small like 0.22
Right.
amount of time, or it would be 0.78 time off over that amount of time. Like went up or calculated up, and we got off by like 10 days or something like that. And so now it's every 4 years, unless it's like a 100-year mark, then you don't leap it on like 1900 there was no leap year. 1800 there was no leap year. But the year 2000 there was a leap year because if the year is divisible by 400,
Yes.
you do a leap year. And so we're not going to have to deal with that ever, having to go through a century change and not do a leap year on that day.
You might not.
Dude, if you make it to 2100, you don't have to celebrate that February 29th.
Yeah, dude.
You just
I'm going to look
punt
forward
on
to
that.
that.
That's
I'm
gonna be a good day.
Way forward to that.
Yeah.
2100. That's only like a few years,
Yeah.
a few decades.
Yeah, 76
Yeah.
years from now, we will not be celebrating a leap year.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Isn't that wild?
Well, I love that you knew that just off the cuff.
Well, as I said, things are important to me.
Weird. I love that's the stuff you like, put value in.
I didn't want to go, like, last time we were talking with Joy and Will, and we went over the origins of Valentine's Day, which is fascinating. I'm really bummed that episode did not record.
Yeah, you guys might have to run that one back, as Will says.
Yeah, it was good. Do you know how Valentine's Day started?
I listened to the podcast. The audio that was too bad for us to even release to you on Saudis.
Yeah.
But
Okay, so then never mind. If you
I heard it, but I don't remember anything about it. Tell me all of it.
So they were like these pagans that were in the winter around Valentine's Day. There was this festival where it was like a love festival, right? So they would sacrifice like a badger or a skunk. It was like those two things.
Nice.
And then you take the hide from that and whip someone of the opposite gender. And then they are your tag team partner through the duration of this holiday. So if you get whipped by a badger pelt, then you're stuck. And sometimes that pairing they would just get married from there on. Other times it would be,
dude, is that where the term badgering somebody came from?
dude, I hope it is.
Dude, what if that it's a term of
that's
endearment instead of like an annoying thing?
I don't know that it was an endearing thing. I think it was like I'm claiming you, you're mine now.
That's kind of sweet if you think about
so,
that.
And then it was like Octavian, I don't know, not Octavian. One of the popes took that holiday and was like, no, we're going to still talk about love, but talk about St. Valentine, who was being oppressed by Nero, that no one could get married, and then he was
that
performing.
classic story, yeah.
Pretty interesting. Dude, I wonder if that's where badgering comes from.
Dude.
It can't be.
No, dude, but
I hope.
I think badgers just have a reputation.
Being really persistent.
Yeah, they don't. Like, can't you like not kill a badger if you're another animal? Like, if you're just trying to get at that thing, they just fight too much, and you just can't get them.
Maybe. I know they're like vicious.
Dude, it's so cool.
I've never seen a badger. Where are they located? I know North America, but
dude, I don't know. But guess what I saw? Speaking of things,
I can't even presume to guess.
A mink.
Did you?
I did.
Where?
Like right outside my dad's house, like on his cul-de-sac lane thing.
Are you sure it's a mink?
No.
Okay.
But this is why I think it was, because I looked up what kind of weasel I just stinking saw in Virginia, and I think the most common one is a mink.
There are minks in Virginia?
Yeah, and I was looking at it and I was like, yeah, I mean, that was it. And I think weasels, if I'm getting this correct, like the weasels have like a white belly or something, or like a lighter color fur tone on their belly, and this one was just one color, which would match the mink. But dude, their heads are so weird, and it was a big one.
Bro,
like,
do you know what a marten is?
Yeah, no, it's a water mink, right? A water weasel.
Are you thinking like a muskrat?
No, I'm thinking like an otter.
No.
No, okay, then I don't know what a marten is.
I thought a marten was a bird.
Guitar. Oh.
But yeah, that's a marten.
Whoa, dude, we have those?
Yeah.
I've never seen one of those.
I think more in like Maine and stuff in the north. But I was reading a book about a dude that...
Martens with an E.
Oh, is that it? I put Martin as in like Martin Lawrence. You sure you didn't see this little guy?
Yeah, how big do they get?
I don't know. It was a book about hiking the Appalachian Trail, and he was just talking about, I saw some martens, and they're really fluffy or something. And I was like, I thought a marten was a bird, and I looked it up. Daggone, dude, it's like a mink.
That's crazy.